This is a short introduction to the playwright Eugene O'Neill and the play Long Day's Journey into Night, which was published in 1956, performed on Broadway in New York that same year. This is a picture of Eugene O'Neill looking quite severe. I've never seen a picture of Eugene O'Neill where he looked happy. So we're going to talk a little bit about the play and what makes reading a play different from reading, a novel or collection of short stories. So it's important to understand that it is a play, which means that what you're reading was written to be performed on stage and in front of a live audience. So there are going to be lots of differences because of that. You're reading a script, and the idea is that it would be memorized and then recited by actors assigned to perform the different parts. The play takes place over the course of a single day and is divided into four acts that correspond to four different times of day. The play starts in the morning, and then the middle acts take place in the afternoon and evening, and then the final act takes place late at night. If you were watching a performance of the play, there would be pauses between acts, and this is signaled in the book by the word curtain. And this would allow the actors to refresh themselves. These parts are long and exhausting, so the actors could take a little break, change and adjust their costumes for the next act, and then stagehands could come out and move props, change furniture around, adjust the lighting for the next scene. At the beginning of each act, you'll notice that O'Neill provides very detailed instructions, and they're printed in italics, so it's not like they're part of the play. They're his instructions for how the stage should be lighted, how it should be decorated. Down even, he's very particular. It gets right down to the titles of the books that would be on the bookshelf. I don't know how anyone sitting in the audience would be able to read the titles of the books, but he was very particular that way. Um, and he tells us how the characters should dress, how they should move, what they should be doing with their hands, for example. Um, this is particularly the case with Mary Tyrone, and then their tone of voice. So the text on pages 11 13, through 13 of the book um, are O'Neill's notes for the director and for the actors. This is an image that's actually, I think this is in the book. It's a woodcut illustration. Shows all the major characters in the play. There are some minor characters not pictured here. It might be Shakespeare's portrait up there on the wall, actually, in the back. So first, we'll talk a little bit about James Tyrone. He's the patriarch. He's the father. He made his fortune as an actor, a Shakespearean actor, in fact, and he wants the same for his eldest son, Jamie. And Jamie is resistant to that. Uh, his financial decision making, the way that he spends money, he's the breadwinner of the family, and his financial decision making causes friction and tension with everyone in the family. So that's something for you to pay attention to. Then his wife Mary is deeply troubled. Her life as the wife of a traveling stage actor has left her feeling depressed and lonely. She's also a mother of not just the wife of a traveling stage actor, but also the mother of small children. That's a lot to take on. And she is also a drug addict. And she's addicted to a drug called morphine. It's an opioid. And she worries and angers the rest of the family with her addictive behavior. This is Jamie, or James Tyrone Jr. This is the eldest son. And even though he's an adult, I'm not sure how old he is. I guess I kind of imagine him being around 30, you might say in the play. He still lives at home with his parents and doesn't seem inclined to do anything else uh, except waste his money, what money he earns, on women and drink, much to the disappointment of his father, who wants very much for his eldest son to follow in his footsteps and become a great stage actor. Then there's the youngest son, Edmund. He's more ambitious than his brother, but he suffers from a terminal illness. It's called tuberculosis. Um, it's referred to as consumption sometimes in the play. It's a pulmonary disease that in the early 20th century was basically a death sentence for anyone who contracted it. And and Edmund's illness really brings out the worst character traits of everyone else in the family, as you will see as you read the play. So some of the themes of the play that you should pay attention to or look for to see developed in the interactions between the characters. Obviously, the theme of addiction, and it's not just Mary Tyrone. There's definitely an alcohol problem in this family. Responsibility. What are fathers' obligations to sons and sons' obligations to fathers, and what are wives' obligations to husbands and husbands' obligations to wives? Thinking about responsibility and commitment is a theme. Guilt is another major theme. Everyone in the play has something to feel guilty about and something that they are blamed for. And empathy is a theme. That all these characters wish to be understood by one another. They all seek understanding, and that is perhaps the most important theme of the play. I think ultimately that's what it's about: is a broken family trying to understand one another. And finally, grief, loss, and grief. And that is an introduction to the play. Should help you get started, and we will talk more about these characters and about the themes of the play in class.